This is the MHS Pawdcast, the online radio voice of Metuchen High School.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. I'm Kalegi. The last show before spring break, a jam-packed show today. After the school announcements, we'll be joined by Hruday, Shah, and Tang from the Metuchen Momentum to talk about the new robotics team here at Metuchen High. Then Josh and I will get into all the exciting stuff happening in spring sports, including the new news with the football team. We've got a new coach heading in, we'll talk about that. But first, here are the school announcements from Sarah Terracina.
Thank you, Eddie. A reminder that spring break spans from this Friday, April 19th, until we return on Monday, April 29th. SAT 1 and 2 testing will be taking place on Saturday morning, May 4th at 8 a.m. here at Metuchen High. AP testing begins Monday, May 6th. Sports physicals will take place on May 16th. Anyone participating in any sport next year must get a physical. Please pick up paperwork and make an appointment in the nurse's office. Finally, congratulations to MHS senior Rachel Weitzner, who was honored on April 9th at the MCSPA Outstanding Student Banquet in Monroe, New Jersey. That's all for announcements. Back to you, Eddie.
Thank you, Sarah. Continuing here on the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS, I'm Kalegi. Something new this year in Metuchen, it's the Metuchen Momentum. To discuss the team, it's a pleasure to be joined by team members and MHS sophomores Tang and Hruday Shah. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Eddie.
So tell us about the origins of this Metuchen robotics team. How did it get started, and how did it ultimately connect with Metuchen High?
So, last September, two mentors decided to start up a team in Metuchen High School, which is an international competition, First Robotics. We decided to meet over October and November, getting basic robotics background, and then after that, we went into our competition, in which we built a 125-pound robot, and yeah, that's practically it. So
with the team, I want to know, there's a lot of members now. How did you guys market the team and get a bunch of people to join?
Well, when we first started out, I remember seeing flyers around the school, and then we first went to this inaugural informational meeting, and I remember seeing 50 kids there, so obviously there was a lot of interest in the team. And then at that meeting, our mentors just, laid the groundwork, said this is what's going to happen, and then you can back out if you want because it's going to be very time-consuming. Our build season was 3 to 7 every day. So after that, a lot of people dropped, but the people we have now, they're pretty committed, and I think we're a decently strong team.
So for those who don't know, what happens at a robotics competition? Because I'm just as puzzled as anyone. What work goes into an event, and just what happens at an event?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So what happens is that we get a 10x10 pit, which we have to decorate and get it ready in case the robot gets broken, which happens quite a lot of times.
Fairly often, yeah.
More than you'd expect. So what happens is that with our at the start of every season, the creators of First, Dean came in, gives us a task that we have to accomplish. For example, this year we had Destination Deep Space. The task was to pick up kickballs, called cargo, put them into rocket ships, which go up to 10 feet. The top of the rocket ship is to 10 feet. So you have to build a robot that addresses all of the tasks. So you'd have to put in cargo, a ball, and the other task was to put hatch panels. Hatch panels were plastic discs with a hole in the center, which you have to pick up and secure onto two Velcro strips, and you have to put the balls in them. So it kept the ball in the rocket or the cargo.
There are two places you could put them.
So that's the agenda. How has the team been faring so far this year?
Pretty well. Yeah. We did way better than we expected. We won 6 awards, 3 Rookie Highest Seed awards, 1 Rookie All-Star award, and 2 Rookie Inspiration awards. So that was a great start to begin with. And then after that, we went on to compete at regionals in Lehigh
University, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So first competition was at Bridgewater. We were quarterfinalists. Second competition at Montgomery, we were ranked 23rd out of 37 teams.
Yeah, around, yeah.
And then at the end of Lehigh, we were ranked in the top 40 of the 128 teams
in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Mid-Atlantic district.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we went on to our regional competitions at Lehigh University, where we ranked 21st out of 60 teams. And our final ranking this year was, out of 128 teams, we were ranked in the top 30.
Definitely sounds like things are going well. So what are some of the future goals of the team?
For now, we just want to do some off-season tasks, like build a cargo intake, just to get better knowledge of building things, I guess. We wanted to go to some off-season competitions in the summer, and come September, we want to recruit more members to join our team. And maybe in the, hopefully, near future, we can establish lower-level first competition teams. So, like FLL, First Lego League, they deal with, like, Mindstorms and stuff. We could get that in the middle school, in Edgar Middle School, and then... yeah, we'll go from there.
Well, you just mentioned recruitment. So why should students join the Metuchen Momentum? And do you need a lot of experience to be a part of the team?
Well, as the founder, Dean Kamen, says, robotics is a sport where anyone could go pro. So the thing with the team is that joining a first robotics team makes you available for $80 million in scholarships, and for anyone who wants to do something related to STEM and make themselves feel useful or have an impact in the world, robotics is for them. And you don't need any experience. When I joined the team, I didn't know what a ratchet was, and now here I am knowing what a ratchet is and being able to fix anything that goes wrong in the robot.
Yeah, so basically, even if you have no knowledge or prior experience, you can always come in, we can teach you can always learn. And a lot of the team technology is really just a small part of it. Most of it is the teamwork, the leadership, all of that.
Also, you don't need to be specifically STEM related. We take artists, we take writers, we also take photographers, videographers. Yes. We take all kinds of people. If you think you have a skill, we can take it. We have a marketing team, which does not really focus with building the robot as much as they do with
outreach,
marketing our
sponsors,
team and outreach to sponsors.
So who should students reach out to if they're interested in being part of the Metuchen Momentum?
You guys could practically reach out to majority anyone after school in the woodshop. If you stop by after school in the woodshop, you'll probably find at least one mentor and a student from the team.
Yeah, fair warning though, right now we are not meeting every day, so I think right now it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so
Monday, Wednesday,
come in those times if you want to join, but other times it's probably just woodshop people, so.
Yeah. But other than that, everyone at least should attempt to join the team. If it's not for them, they could always drop out, but it's a great experience. Everyone should take it.
Definitely.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have. Jason, Tang, Hruday, Shah, thank you for joining us on the Metuchen High School Podcast.
Thank you for having us, Eddie.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so when we come back, Josh Hyman will join us to talk about the Metuchen sports season's solid success so far for baseball, softball, and track, and some changes for the football team that we'll get into. I'm Eddie Kalegi, and this is the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. Having trouble seeing the board in class? Do you need safety glasses for your school sport? If you answered yes to either of these questions, head over to Optique Unique, the eyeglass store at 406 Main Street in Metuchen. Optique Unique does it all. Not only do they offer eyewear for all ages, they also sell sports-specific safety glasses for kids and adults. Call them at 732-321-2020. That's 732-321-2020, or visit OptiqueUnique.com. Do you want to build character, build confidence, or even build yourself? All that and more can be accomplished at the Black Belt Institute at 23 New Street, right here in Metuchen. Students of all ages have been able to learn respect, discipline, fitness, and self-defense from their experienced instructors for over 20 years. Whether you're an adult looking for stress reduction or know someone young who has interest in Taekwondo, the Black Belt Institute is the place to go. The Institute takes a fun approach at teaching the rules of self-defense, instilling in their students an I-can-do-it attitude. Interested in taking a class? Call them at 732-205-9797 or visit their website at blackbeltinst.com. Once again, that's 732-205-9797 or blackbeltinst.com. The Black Belt Institute, Metuchen's leader in martial arts and fitness. The MHS Pawdcast is also sponsored by Allstate Insurance at 63 Pearl Street in Metuchen. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. I'm Josh Hyman.
And I'm Eddie Kalegi.
With spring break approaching, the spring sports season is officially in full swing. A slow start to the season for the baseball team. What must they improve upon heading forward?
Well, yeah, a bit of an unpleasant surprise with the team. They're sitting at 3-4 in the early going. Not what you expected after their near sectional title. Obviously, a slight step back was possible with the graduation of both Matt Volpe and Mike Lubchinsky, but the pitching staff has really struggled, most notably a tough loss this past Thursday against Marlboro on a walk-off single in extra innings. You know, with Leo Danik at the helm, though, this team could definitely turn things around, but the strong rotation with guys like Luke Schleck and Matt Rowe have to step up. They had a span last week where they lost 3 consecutive games when scoring 4 runs, so the issue lies more in the pitching than the offense. But a momentum booster a couple days ago on Monday when they annihilated Carteret 18-0. A good turnaround for the team. They had 2 home runs from Gavin Abrams, 6 RBI from Jackson Fenner, and Jay Harry hurled a shutout. So the team is starting to turn around, but they put themselves in a big hole early in the season.
Yeah, definitely. And who do you think could fill that role in the pitcher spot?
Well, after seeing what Jay Harry did on Monday with that shutout, he really has to continue that, but obviously he can't pitch every game, so everybody's got to take a little bit of the load. This team had such a good starting rotation last season. They have to try to get a little bit of that back this year.
Yeah, definitely. That pitching spot is going to be very important for the success of this baseball team. Mm-hmm. And the softball team had a key win last week against Middlesex. How are they holding up in the blue division?
Well, they've been better than the baseball team so far. They had a nice 4-2 start. They sit just a mere half game back of rival Dunellen for the lead in the blue division. We talked about in the spring sports preview how close that blue division is going to be, and Metuchen's holding up pretty well. And yes, last Monday, the team came back from down 3 to score 6 runs on just 4 hits in a weird game, a bunch of walks, to defeat another rival in Middlesex. That's a nice momentum booster when you come out on top in a game where the offense was kind of stagnant. They only had 4 hits in the game. A couple of them were infield hits. Rachel Weitzner, Julia Fenton, Amelia Lorenzo, they're leading the offensive charge. They're on track to really compete in the GMC this season. So I want to talk to you a little, since obviously you're on the team. The spring track team, it's definitely been a good start for both the runners and the throwers, specifically at Metuchen Relays. Could you tell us a little bit about the season so far?
Yeah, the season's been pretty good so far. We've done 2 freshman-sophomore meets, and it's really good. A lot of the younger kids are improving a lot. They're getting their PRs. They're getting that meet experience, which is very important because, you know, throwing in practice, running in practice is a lot different from when there's a lot of people cheering and screaming in the stands and your coach is watching you and it's timed and there are officials. So for these younger kids to get that meet experience, it's really important. And at Metuchen Relays, as you said, we did really well. We really got a lot of medals in the running events. Mm-hmm. We took 5th place in boys shot put, I believe 6th place in girls shot put. The boys javelin relay won for small schools. They got 1st place with a 405 combined relay throw. So it's really good. We've been doing very well, and I'm really excited to see what we have going into bigger meets such as Night of Miles, 10 relays, or GMCs.
So also, you have to talk about the girls 4x8. That performance at Metuchen Relays, running a 9:35. They beat all the schools, going with the small and the large schools, by 31 seconds better than second place. And now you have Nina Suss, Caroline Schleif, Camille Lucier, and Molly Millay going to Penn Relays. That team is going to be a real force to be reckoned with next weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm surprised that you haven't mentioned more teams going to Penn Relays, because every year we usually send, 2 or 3 teams there. So this is that's very impressive. And I can say with confidence it's pretty much expected that at least one of these relay teams is going to go to Penn Relays. But yeah, this track team, it's huge too. We have a lot of kids coming in from the younger grades, such as freshmen and sophomores. The coaches are getting more experience. The throwing team, I think I said this earlier, we've around 30 kids this year, which is nothing we've ever seen before. So I'm really excited that this program is just going to continue to just get better throughout the years in Metuchen High School. another question, what else is happening in Metuchen High School sports?
Well, a lot of stuff. The biggest news this week, we have a new football coach. It was just announced on Tuesday at the Board of Ed meeting that Guy Jensen will be taking over the program from Mike Warnock. He, obviously the boys basketball coach, so he's going to be coaching 2 sports. He's worked as an assistant with the team before. He was a big football player back in high school, so he's looking to turn around this program. The team also has new uniforms, a new social media presence, so the team is really trying to change things up for the new season. Also, a congratulations to senior Maya Stolarski. She's the all-time leading scorer in Metuchen girls soccer history, and she'll be playing at Jacksonville University in the fall. As for some of the other sports going on right now, the golf team has had a nice start to the season. The boys sitting at 5-1. The girls are at 3-2. And finally, you got the boys tennis team, who have won back-to-back matches against Bishop R and South Amboy after a slow start to the season to get to 2-3. So right now, sitting about halfway through the spring sports season, all the teams are looking in good shape. I always say, and I've always said it, out of the 3 seasons, the spring sports season here in Metuchen is always the most promising, always guided by that track team and the baseball team that plays for the sectional titles so many times. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming here through spring break and as we head into May.
Yeah, I agree with you. Spring season is definitely the season to watch when it comes to sports. There's just so much going on, so many great athletes performing, and it's really cool to see just all the extremely diverse array of sports that's happening. And that football team, hopefully, with all the investments they're putting in, I hope they can really turn it around. And I think the school really does care about its football program because, they got new stuff, they got new coaches, they have a social media account. So here's to hoping that they can get some more kids on board, get our football team to what it once was, and I really hope they can do that.
Definitely some things to be excited about. Well, that's about all the time we have. A thank you to our guests, Jason Tang and Hruday Shah from the robotics team. I'm Eddie Kalegi.
And I'm Josh Hyman.
This is the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. We hope everyone has a great spring break.